I've been thinking about something that makes me uncomfortable when I say it out loud. What if the thing I keep telling myself is temporary isn't? I think a lot of us survive telling ourselves story, this is just for now, or I'm only doing this until something pops up better later, or I won't live like this forever. And most of the time that's healthy. Hope matters, but sometimes I wonder if those stories quietly turn into excuses. Not excuses like laziness, more like emotional placeholders. I'll catch myself saying, like, once things slow down, I'll think about it. Once I have more time, I'll make a change. Or once this season is over, I'll reassess and, figure it out from there. But then the season ends and another one begins and another. And suddenly it's been a few years that have gone by and we're still saying for now. Like, there's this fear that nobody really talks about. It's not the fear of failing, it's the fear of staying. Staying in something, that's fine. Something that works, something that doesn't actively hurt you but also doesn't actively light you up. How do you justify leaving something like that? If it's bad, the decision's easy. Like, it's no good for you. Just let it go. Like, it's fine. But when something is okay, that's when it can get dangerous. Because okay can last forever. And I think that's where a lot of quiet unhappiness actually lives. Not in chaos or crisis, it's in the comfort that slowly numbs you. I'll be honest, sometimes I don't even know if I'm unhappy or if I'm just bored. Like, they do feel very similar. Because boredom can sound like you're ungrateful. Boredom sounds like you're asking for more than you deserve. So you downplay it. It's like you'll say, oh, other people would love to be right here. Or I shouldn't complain and I'm in a good situation. And maybe you are. But good doesn't always mean right. Another scary thing is once you admit something might not be a phase, you're forced into the next question, which is, what am I going to do about it? Because awareness comes with responsibility and you can't unknow a feeling. I think a lot of people, myself included, stay stuck not because they don't know what they want, but because they're afraid of wanting something else, or are more worried about what doing something else says about them. Afraid it means that they're wasted time. Afraid it means they made the wrong choice, or that they'll disappoint people, or they're afraid of starting over, starting something new. Afraid, it means admitting that this isn't who I thought I'd be. There's this idea that growth is always obvious, that when it's time to move on, you'll feel motivated, inspired, certain. But what if growth actually feels like doubt? What if it feels like restlessness? What if it's like a discomfort you can't name, or like a quiet voice that just won't shut up? I've noticed something about myself. The things that I tell myself are just temporary are usually the things that I avoid thinking about too deeply. Because if I think about them too hard, then I might have to change them. Emotionally, mentally and financially, change can be expensive. So instead, I choose to stay busy because busyness is such a good disguise. If you're tired enough, you don't have to ask hard enough questions. If you're always in motion, you don't have to sit with dissatisfaction. But eventually, life will slow you down, anyways. I don't think the problem is staying. Staying can be brave, staying can be loyal, staying can be smart in certain situations. But the problem I feel is staying without choosing it. That's when it starts to eat at you. I think the shift happens when you stop asking, how long do I have to do this? And start asking yourself, if nothing changed, could I accept this life? That question doesn't demand action, it demands honesty. I don't have a clear answer yet. Some days I think this is really just a phase. Other days I think maybe this is my sign. But I know if I'm going to stay somewhere in a job, in a routine, in a version of myself, I want it to be because I choose it, not because I was afraid to leave. Maybe the goal isn't to escape every phase. Maybe the goal is to stop lying to ourselves about what phase we're actually in. And that's what I'm still figuring out. Let me think.